49ers update for the second straight day. Jauan Jennings is not practicing. He's dealing with a hip issue. And I think the natural follow-up question is, does this open the door for 49ers rookie Ricky Pearsall, who is yet to play, but he has been practicing this week? Pearsall, along with the 49ers, in full pads at today's long session. And this is the first time, actually, that the 49ers get to see Ricky Pearsall out at practice in full pads. Mentioned the conversation with Ricky in the locker room yesterday. He said that he didn't know if the 49ers plan to activate him or not, but obviously if Jauan Jennings is unable to go against the Chiefs on Sunday, it would seem that Pearsall might be an opportunity to fill in for him. So we'll keep an eye on that. 49ers otherwise look relatively healthy for this football game. Malik Collins and Jordan Elliott both back at practice for San Francisco. Jordan Mason, Deebo Samuel also both present, still wearing their blue non-contact jerseys. Again, Jordan Mason dealing with the AC sprain in the shoulder. That's probably a pain management situation for Jordan Mason, and Deebo Samuel fighting through the wrist injury. It is looking more likely than not at this point, or at least increasingly likely, that Anders Carlson is going to be the 49ers' third kicker in 3 weeks. Anders is the only kicker available out there at practice today. Matthew Wright, again, out with shoulder injury, dislocated his shoulder briefly against Seattle. Obviously, Jake Moody is not going to be ready to go yet for Sunday with the high ankle sprain. So Anders Carlson, Auburn grad, will be back out on that field for the 49ers tomorrow. And then if we don't see Matthew Wright then, it's very likely that Anders Carlson will be called up from the practice squad to be the 49ers kicker. Second-year man who was with Green Bay last year. Missed 7 field goals over the course of the regular season, but missed 13 kicks total when you include extra points and field goals and the postseason. So he obviously struggled with the Packers. That's why he's no longer there. But the 49ers, out of the kickers they worked out to back up Jake Moody, they obviously saw him as option number 2 behind Matthew Wright, who's also been hurt. So very rare for a team to have to use 3 kickers in 3 weeks, but the 49ers might have to do that, and I think it's obviously significant and worth bringing up because this could be a close game against the Kansas City Chiefs. This could come down to a field goal. Matthew Wright was 3 of 3 against the Seahawks, and if it does come down to Anders Carlson, we will see what he can do. Very, very intriguing matchup is the 49ers facing off against the middle of the field in Kansas City's route tree. They got absolutely worn out last year by Patrick Mahomes in between the numbers. He was 24 of 26 for 256 yards when throwing in between the numbers in the Super Bowl. It's 9.8 yards per attempt. Travis Kelce had 9 catches, but also 7 screen passes caught behind the line of scrimmage for Kansas City that were efficient plays. In fact, Mahomes was 7 of 7 on those throws behind the line of scrimmage. 49ers didn't really get in the way or break up a single one of those passes. The middle of the field was the money zone for Patrick Mahomes, especially after Dre Greenlaw tore his Achilles, because they picked on Oren Burks. They found linebackers not named Fred Warner and made it happen against the 49ers defense, especially with Travis Kelce. So it's funny because you have all the stereotypes about quarterbacks, right? And for years, we've been hearing that the 49ers don't like to attack outside the numbers. We heard it a lot about Brock Purdy, but he's peppering the ball all over the field. He leads the NFL in air yards per attempt. It is Patrick Mahomes who has been focused on the middle part of the field, especially against the 49ers in that Super Bowl. But Kansas City, again, leads the league in yards after the catch. And the middle of the field is the bread and butter for Yak, because you don't have the help of the sideline if you're the defense in the middle of the field to make stops. So there's a reason why the 49ers did like to attack the middle of the field. I know defenses have taken that away, and that's why the 49ers are down at the bottom suddenly in Yak. But there's a reason why Kansas City is attacking the middle of the field and why they are at the top of the heap in terms of Yak. It just so happens to be where Kansas City is cyclically in this chess match of play calling against opposing defensive coordinators. Teams haven't started successfully taking the middle of the field away from them just yet. So the question is, Can the 49ers do that? I know they're down Dre Greenlaw. I know that Fred Warner is still a future Hall of Famer. I know that Devondre Campbell has been a relative coverage weakness for the 49ers. They've been trying to integrate D. Winters, a faster second-year player, into the mix. But this is going to be the test of the season so far for the 49ers when it comes to that middle third defense in between the numbers against Patrick Mahomes. It's funny, I don't think that we've talked about Kelsey too much in our preview work yet because that's funny because everybody likes to talk about Travis Kelsey these days. Everybody likes to talk about Taylor Swift these days. Based on what I understand, she will not be here at Levi Stadium. Taylor Swift has a concert on Sunday in Miami. With that out of the way, we can get back to the football talk. And the 49ers are still 1.5 point favorites against the Chiefs on Sunday. Super Bowl rematch, two really good teams. I know I broke down the Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes comparisons yesterday. Purdy been playing better football than Mahomes. You can obviously check that out up on the San Francisco Standard. And here's a look at the rest of the happenings at practice today as the 49ers prepare to take on Kansas City.